Okay, this is a look at some of the service issues with the sensor and VHIT. You have the goggles. You have the VHIT sensor, which is right here. This actually slides on the coupler there and makes its connection. And then you have two ways to test this. You've got horizontal, which we refer to as the lateral test, and then you have LARP and RALP, which are for the vertical canals. This right now is currently set up with the vertical canals. It has the wire moving downward towards the goggles. This is for the version 8 series software of Spectrum. For the horizontal, you will flip it, the sensor, so it looks in this position, and it has the word horizontal placed right there. If you try to do vertical again, and you place this in the up direction like this, you will get the inappropriate signals that'll be showing up. It'll work, but you'll have inappropriate signals. So make sure that you place that wire in the down position so you have the correct polarity. When you start your software, you go up to the toolbox, click on Maintain, click on Vortec. You will see a line moving across the Vortec graph, and that in itself, if you want to see it move, just move your goggles up and down if you have it in the vertical and not very far, and you'll see a sinusoidal wave that you'll make. The other aspect of this is that you can hear the beep by clicking on beep, and then to calibrate. In version 8 you do not have to calibrate, you just have to put in the calibration signal 0.83, and in order to save that calibration field, you go up to one of the icons up at the top. I choose the RF remote and click and set it up. The other part of this too is when you're in Vortec and the signal is going across, you will see on the VLink, you will see that the light is flashing. This is saying that it's communicating between the computer and the VLink, that they're making a direct communication. That'll tell you whether or not you got a broken wire when it comes to that instance for the rate sensor. Once you've completed those parts of it, you can go in and click on by selecting a patient and click on lateral. In the lateral test, you will notice we're going to switch this to horizontal. You should have a band that is Velcro tight. So here's the Velcro, here's the band, and make sure that is fairly snug on your face. You will see the video has changed. It has gotten into, and I'm going to adjust the focusing on this. You notice the crosshairs don't say very well on that left one, so I'm going to make an adjustment. I'm going to look straight ahead, and I'm going to make an adjustment on the left. I'm going to make adjustments, see if I have to do it on the right. And I'm going to turn my head back and forth. Now this is just to look at, see how things are functioning on it. This is, you would not do an actual, we're going to do a test, but we're going to just do a self-test on this. I'm not going to calibrate, there's no reason to. The distance that you can stay from the target, which you will pick something on the screen here. I'm just going to pick something in the center of the screen and look at it. And you can stay anywhere from less than a half a meter, which is about 18 inches or so from the screen. And I'm going to click on record. And then I'm going to thrust my head. I'm going to wait a few seconds and thrust my head, and I'm going to get a green bar. I'm going to wait a few seconds and thrust my head. I see that the right camera is not doing as well as I would like, so I'm going to make an adjustment to that. There we go. There we go. And it's just a thrust, and you hold that thrust. You do not place the head back to center. The red line down below is the right eye movement. Green one is the left. The yellow is the sensor. Every time I have a green frame around there, it means it has accepted what criteria has been placed in the default setup system. When I do 10 correct in each direction, it will give me a green Also a green go up where it's counting. I'm going to make 30, and there are 30, 15 and 15. You do not have to do 15 and 15. It can be 12 and 18 in either direction. I'm going to click on analysis. And you will see the eye movements. The eye movements are in green down below here. The black is the rate sensor. These do not have to be a mirror image, but they have to be at least looking in the same, similar to a mirror image, but you notice the eyes have a much greater movement to it than the rate sensor. That's the difference between the eye movement versus the rate sensor. We've got a gains over here of 1.1 and 1. Red is right, the dots, blue are left. They should be pretty much symmetrical, and as you can see in this particular eye position, they are. To look at each individual one, if you want to check out the functionality of the software, you hold down the control key and move with the right arrow on the keyboard. The green that you see in the spike here is the actual eye movement. The blue is the rate sensor, and it also shows up just below here. So the green turns to yellow, showing the eye movement, and the black turns to white, showing the rate sensor movement. So you can look at each one of those and determine what happened. Say, for instance, this particular one right here, I'd like to look at. So I'm going to move that back over there. There it is. I'm going to start up the play button. Whether or not this plays on the movie, I'm not sure. And you can see the movement going there. And I'm going to slow it down over here. If you notice, you've got a peak here, and then you've got another peak going down below here, opposite of that. And that's what the normal eye movement is right here, but that little peak down below is showing up here. And it's probably not a saccadic movement or a saccadic intrusion. That was me, or at least the rate, at least the eye crosshair moving out of the way. And that's when I was making adjustments, remember, at the very beginning, because this is only 12 seconds into it, and I had to make some adjustments to it. So you can make adjustments on the threshold during the test, and if you want to, you can repeat the test after you've made your threshold adjustments, or just continue on. So that's how you look at the functionality, the technical aspect of whether or not, one, the rate sensor is working, and to make sure the communication box is working, and to make sure that you have the rate sensor on correctly, and you have the straps set up, and it's tight on the eyes. If you have all those, you'll get exactly what you see here, and everything is working